What's up, everybody? It's me, Crosspatch. Welcome back to my Madden 21 Pittsburgh Steelers franchise. This video is going to be a short recap of the 2023 regular season that we just finished up. We're going to take a look at the playoff scenario going forward. We will look at player upgrades and some roster moves that happened throughout the season, as well as the final player stats and awards that they received. So let's get started looking at the playoff scenario here. And I did sim past the wild card round here. I kind of misspoke in my last video, my last game video for the regular season, where I said, triumphantly, this will be the first franchise that we will not have to see Cleveland in the playoffs. First season of this franchise that they missed the playoffs. And as you can see, I was wrong. Spoke too soon. They managed to sneak in with a 9-7 record, but they were easily dispatched by Kansas City, so we will not have to see them for the first time in the playoffs. During this franchise. We'll see the Ravens instead. That's no better, but, they managed to beat Tennessee, and Cincinnati beat Buffalo, so if we get past the Ravens, we will see the winner of Kansas City and Cincinnati. And on the NFC side, Dallas had the first round bye there. They finished with a 15-1 record, and they're going to have to get past Carolina, who represented the NFC in last year's Super Bowl, and then the winner of the Battle of the Bays here, Green Bay and Tampa Bay. So 15-1 record, I don't want to get too far ahead of things, but it would be kind of cool to see a Steelers-Cowboys Super Bowl. 16-0 versus 15-1. It's kind of an old-school NFL rivalry, from a couple of Super Bowls back in the 70s, and then again in the 90s they met in a Super Bowl. So, not to get too far ahead of things, but that would be kind of cool. But moving on, we'll take a look at some of our players and some of their stats and upgrades throughout the season. And just for starters here, take a look at our offensive and defensive rating. We started out with 87 overall and 87 for both offense and defense. So you can see we've had some significant improvements to our team just through the course of upgrades throughout the season. Offense is now a 91, defense is now an 89. So I kind of attribute that to our draft class. We had a really good draft class. Pretty much everybody contributed. We didn't really have a single player that I drafted last year who did not play a role in this season. So that was, I think, part of it. And we'll take a look at some individual players. Most significantly, this guy here, Dakota Cavanaugh. He, rookie quarterback, has been outstanding this season. I'm going to take a look at his ratings. He started off as a 73 overall in the beginning of the season. And you can see he's now up to an 85 without the morale. And you can see where his some of his accuracy stats have gotten to. Throwing power up to 95. And he's only 21 years old. He's right now he is hidden dev trait. So when we first got him, I looked back to verify this at the older video. He had a normal dev trait. Then he had a breakout scenario during the season, which got him up to star development, I thought. And now he has a hidden dev trait. So what does that mean? I have no idea. I think he probably is going to get bumped up to superstar after the Pro Bowl this season, but who knows? But I think whatever happens, before too long, he's going to be a superstar X Factor, and probably the best quarterback in the league, which would match up with some of our other guys here. We've got James Conner here, superstar X Factor. He's getting up there in age, but he is still a key part of our offense. Runs hard. He's our closer, as I like to say. In the late third quarter, fourth quarter, we start giving him the ball, and it's pretty much over at that point. He's got this young Juan Cobb here kind of nipping at his heels. He's a hidden dev trait. I don't know what he'll end up being, but he is faster than Connor. A bigger, stronger, faster kind of version of Connor. So, he may be coming on the next few seasons to take his job, to take Connor's job. So we'll have to see what happens with these guys. McFarland will be gone next season, unfortunately. Just not going to pay more than I want to for a halfback. So we'll draft somebody for that receiving back spot. But McFarland's played very well for us in 4 seasons. Kind of sorry to see him go, but it's more of a financial decision. In real life, I kind of hope he works out being a good addition to the Steelers. Juju Smith-Schuster, 99 overall. Take a quick look. You can see here, I can't even upgrade him anymore. Like, if I try to upgrade him, I get this message. So he's, I guess, as good as he's ever going to get. Superstar X Factor. 93 speed, 94 acceleration, 99 across the board with all of his catching and release and spectacular catch and all that stuff. So, the only way he could get better is for his physical skills to get better, which is unlikely to happen. But I'm going to hold on to those upgrade points for when he starts to regress. I suppose. I don't know what else to do about that. But and Claypool is not far behind him here. Another superstar X Factor. Not quite at the same level as Smith-Schuster, but still pretty darn good receiver. He's up to 94 overall without the morale. And Deontay Johnson is my 3rd superstar X Factor wide receiver. A little less athletic than those guys, but, another clutch receiver for us. And my tight end here, Clay Peterson. He had a superstar. It's his 2nd year in the league. He had a superstar breakout scenario. So he is up to superstar as well here. And had a little bit of a speed boost with one of his upgrades throughout the season. So if you're asking yourself, how do you get all these superstars on one team? That's sort of part of what I'm hoping people will get from watching my franchise videos. It's about roster management and, dealing with players in certain ways. And it's a little different than what a lot of people seem to like to do as far as picking up expensive free agents. I'll never do that. Never spend money on a free agent star player. I'd rather develop my own guys, and they will develop into superstars, and they will be less expensive than some of the other ways of doing it out there. So our offensive line is coming along really well. I feel like we need to draft one more guy, one more player, because especially since we've got some guys that are getting older here. McPhee is still 23 years old. He's a 79 overall left tackle. He's coming along fine. This guy's been fantastic. Dalton Harris, 85 overall with the morale boost, and he's only 22 years old. Will Wise is a guy who jumped into the center spot, 3rd or 4th or 5th game of the season, somewhere around there. Star development, still pretty low rated, but he's coming along. He's only 23. And De Castro is the guy I kind of meant, the older. I'm going to hang on to him as long as he wants to be a Steeler. But, he may retire, who knows, at any point here. He's 33 years old. So we do need to draft one more player to fill out this offensive line for when he goes. John Keller's been playing well as a right tackle for the past few seasons. I feel like he's going to be moving inside at some point to either center or guard. But he is hurt for the rest of the season, unfortunately. He's an injury that we have sustained during the last couple of games of the season. So Kevin Dotson's going to be jumping in for him. He's a good player. He's another guy we'll be saying goodbye to, just for financial reasons. Unfortunately, T.J. Phillips, a rookie. He's been playing well as a rookie at defensive end there. And Cam Hayward, getting a little older. I noticed a little bit of a drop-off in his play this season, but still one of the better defensive ends in the league. He's another one. I'm going to hang on to him as long as I can. But, he's going to be retiring at some point. David Wiggins played very well, using him more in a pass rush situation as a defensive tackle. Doesn't have a lot of depth behind him here, so we may be looking at this may be a draft where we want to take a couple of defensive ends, defensive tackles, to kind of fill these positions out a little bit. Linebackers coming along real well. I've got 6 good linebackers on this team right now. Some of them will be going on their way, but T.J. Watt, obviously one of the premier pass rushers in the league, and Justin Ford behind him is a decent backup. He's a guy I'm going to want to keep around for a long time, I think, just because he's going to be affordable and he can play every position in the linebacking core as well as defensive end. Devin Bush is up to 97 overall. He's still a star development. I don't know what I have to do with this guy to get him up to superstar, but I don't know. I guess it's not a big deal, other than he doesn't have any abilities, but he plays well, and he's got a rookie alongside him here in Chris Hayes, who had a great season. Some good physical abilities, and he's going to come along with the the awareness and the play recognition and stuff like that. On the outside and the other side, we got Alex Highsmith, who I kind of wish I could hang on to, but I'm not really sure what I would do with him, and I don't really know that I want to spend the money. So he will be going on his way after this season. Derek Lindsey is another rookie who had a breakout scenario that got him up to superstar during the season. He's going to be our guy opposite T.J. Watt, hopefully for the foreseeable future. He actually was an inside linebacker that I moved outside, but yeah, he's gonna do the job well here. Cornerback, we still have some question marks. Tyler Barkley, I'm pretty happy with. He was a undrafted free agent who I picked up last season, and he has been far better than I expected him to be. But he still has a ways to go. 23 years old. Isaac and Goodrich, kind of both similar players. They both have a lot of physical talent, but make a lot of mistakes. And Mike Hilton will be parting ways with him just for financial reasons. And he's getting up there a little bit in age. So cornerback, another position we need to look forward to as far as picking up another player or two to round out the position. Minka Fitzpatrick, 97 overall as a safety. Got a couple of speed boosts and recent upgrades. Pretty happy with him. Same with Edmonds. And both of these guys have some inexpensive backups behind them that if I needed to call on them, I think they'd do okay. But Edmonds is star development and, does the job fine for us. Chris Boswell's, is what he is. We'll probably let him go again and pick him up in free agency if we have the money for him. And Scott Montague, our punter, gets a lot of rest during the season, spends most of his time sitting by the water cooler and telling jokes, and just resting for that one time every 2 or 3 games when he has to come out and punt. Should make him hold for field goals or something like that, just so I get a little bit of my money's worth out of him. But that's about it for our roster. And quick look at our... Where am I going? Quick look at our awards here and stats. We did pretty well here. Dakota Cavanaugh, MVP. And he was our only Steeler mention there. Surprisingly, Ralph Monday, I don't know who that is, but he got Coach of the Year over Tomlin, even though Tomlin was undefeated. So again, the Cowboys 15-1. We see them in the Super Bowl. A lot of hype will be around that. At least in my head. I don't know. Whatever. Cavanaugh, Offensive Player of the Year. Smith-Schuster got recognition there at number 9. Defensive Player of the Year. T.J. Watt with 20 sacks. All the way down at number 5 somehow, but that's okay. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Cavanaugh, of course. Juan Cobb got a mention here. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Chris Hayes, our middle linebacker. And Derek Lindsey as well got a mention. Outside linebacker. Best quarterback, of course, is Cavanaugh. Best running back, James Conner, got the second spot on that behind Josh Jacobs. Best wide receiver, Smith-Schuster and Claypool got the top two. Ahead of Tyreek Hill. David DeCastro, best lineman. And I'm happy to see these guys appearing here. Dalton Harris, Jay McPhee, and even Dotson got a little bit of recognition here. Dotson played a role in some backup duty throughout the season here. Best defensive lineman, nobody. Best linebacker, TJ Watt. And Devin Bush, got to mention. Fitzpatrick with 7 interceptions and I think a couple of sacks, got the best defensive back. And we have Darren Isaac here with a mention. And Tyler Barkley with a mention. Best kicker. Honestly, I missed a lot of extra points. So Boswell is all the way down at number 10. And that's about it for that. We'll take a quick look at stats. The Dakota Cavanaugh, almost 5,000 yards passing. 58 touchdowns, broke Peyton Manning's single season record. 5 interceptions. To be fair, I was kind of coddling him, at least through the first half of the season. So I expect his interception total to go up next year probably. But maybe not, who knows. Connor, over 1,200 yards rushing and 15 touchdowns. Cobb, 300 yards on the ground and 4 touchdowns. Receiving, we had 3 1,000-yard receivers again this season. Smith-Schuster, and we're finally spreading the ball around, something I talked about in a couple of seasons past. Smith-Schuster with 91 catches, Claypool with 82, Peterson 97, Johnson 53. So Claypool led the team with 24 touchdown receptions, which is not anywhere close to a record, by the way, because of Smith-Schuster's performance a couple of seasons ago. On defense, Bush led the team in tackles. Watt led the team in sacks with 20. Bush and Hayes behind him there. And Fitzpatrick with 7 interceptions. Isaac, Barkley with 4 each. Hilton, Goodrich with 3 each, and some other guys got in there as well. Kicking, absolutely awful. I went through a slump in the beginning of the season where I was just missing stuff left and right. I don't know what the heck I was doing. So Boswell had a terrible season. Terrible season with extra points. Just awful. And Scott Montague, got out there 7 times to punt. Not a lot to do otherwise. Like I said, maybe he'll hold for field goals or something. I don't know. We got to get him doing something. So that's about it. We're going to be facing the Ravens in the upcoming divisional round. Finished 16-0. Hopefully you're enjoying this franchise. If you are, please go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. And I will see you in the divisional round.